Okay, let's take a tour of the museum. I'm going to be guided around by Jed Smith, who's the museum's curator, and get a sample of what will await you on your visit. Nice day for it. Now, which one of these fine fellows is Jed? Jed, there you are.
Hello, Russell.
How do you do?
The museum starts with the changing rooms. And these are brilliant because here we have two of the original Twickenham Stadium baths used by the England players since the 1930s. This is our commentators box. Now what we have here is a chance for you to listen to match footage commentary from the TV point of view and the radio point of view. It's the same game, you can listen to the difference. And here on the wall, if you'd like to have a listen to that, that's footage of the very first ever radio commentary of an England rugby game, 1927.
They're off again. It's Wales' kick this time. Pearl's taking it. He's kicking to the left. Wales defending the south end now. There he goes, a long one.
Okay, so now we're going into the history of the game of rugby. And we can start here with the caps. Because it was at Rugby School in Warwickshire in the 19th century that they gave caps to the schoolboys to distinguish between the different houses playing against each other in the school. And that's where the idea comes from, of being given a cap for your country. So if you're an international cap, if you've got so many caps. This is an England jersey from 1871. It's the oldest rugby jersey in existence. The white comes from the fact they wore white at Rugby School.
Right.
The rose we're not quite sure about. We think it might be a mistake and it should have been a red and white England rose, and they just went for a red because it was easier to manufacture. But also there's a red rose on the Rugby School coat of arms.
Oh, right.
And so it might be they took it from there. This is from the very first Lions tour in 1888. Red, white and blue to signify the Union flag. And they went to Australia and New Zealand. Beautiful bits of memorabilia, and these are so rare. I mean, there are very, very few of these in existence anywhere. Now this is the World Rugby Room. And here we have objects from all the major nations. And I think a good one to look at first of all would be the 1905 New Zealand jersey. Now this is beautiful. This is the first ever official New Zealand side. And go back 100 plus years, the 1870s, and you've got the Calcutta Cup. Now again, we talked about iconic objects. This is so famous. And there's lots of interactives in the museum. And the purpose of having these interactives is it gives you, the viewer, the chance to create your own visit. So you can look at footage of a particular period, a particular team, a particular bit of action. So you can look at Lions tours right up to the most recent one, right back to the 50s and beyond. So, the choice is yours. Okay, so this is a World Rugby Museum, but obviously we're at Twickenham Stadium. And so this room is dedicated to the stadium. So on the roof here you've got a mole's eye view of the stadium looking upwards. And you can see that the roof is actually slanting here because we're right below the lower tier of seats. So this is the seating concourse, and we're right tucked into the stadium itself. And if you want to see what the stadium looks like right now, of course, you've got the model. You've got the hotel complex, you've got offices, you've got a theatre for the local residents. It's just an incredible, extraordinary development. And this is about testing your strength against your friends or your family.
That's hard work.
I need to lie down. It's very easy to blame your slippy shoes, obviously, and so many people do, but that's great. And you can measure your strength against your friends. You can see, for example, that when Alexander Oblensky was scoring his famous try in 1936, Hitler was Chancellor in Germany, and the first BBC TV broadcast hadn't yet happened at Twickenham, so it gives you a sense of where everything sits. This is our AV theatre, and this is where you can sit down at the end, towards the end of your museum visit, take the weight off your feet, and just enjoy some fantastic footage of some great tries. It's basically it's a highlights package, the greatest stuff over the last 100 and so years. Beautiful drop goals, great tries, amazing moments, and it's a chance just to wrap it all together and say, what does it all mean?